What it do, y'all? It's your girl Makeup and Travel, and for today's video I have a different video coming to you guys. As you can see by the title, I want to talk about some brands that I am interested in, not only just trying the eyeshadow palette from the brand, but I'm interested in trying the whole brand as a whole, and I'm just overall intrigued to try the brand, or I've already tried something and it's making me more and more intrigued to try more from them. This, as you guys know, is my no buy year. I already made a oopsie daisies in the month of July. There's been a recent palette that's making me want to do another oopsie daisies this month. So these last couple months are a little questionable, but I started last November, and hopefully I will finish in this November as well. So if you're interested in hearing some different brands that I'm interested in trying as a whole, then just keep watching. If you're wondering what's going on with my makeup, I did record it. I've now recorded 2 Instagram videos, so we'll see how that goes. We'll see if I like it or not. But on my eyes today is actually a Caladios palette. It is the Caladios Futurism 4 VR Neon. I tried this because they recently sneak peeked a new palette, and child, let's just get into it. I feel like I'm still very close to my camera, so I scooted back a little bit. And yeah, there are a couple of brands that I just overall this year have wanted to literally just do a whole purchase of everything in all categories that they currently have available, so I could just do an overall like opinion on the brand and just overall have my own thoughts. As I said, talking about my eyeshadow look, Caladios Cosmetics is one of those brands. So I tried the Caladios VR Neon 4 palette, and to me, the mattes were nothing that special, especially this yellow, extremely thin yellow. I actually had it blending out the green in my crease, and I'm pretty sure you can't even see it because when I was looking at my photos that I took prior to this video, I couldn't see it. So overall, I mean, the shadows are just thin. These two in particular I feel are just extremely thin. The red and the green are a lot thicker, and that's why you can really just see them in my look in general. This orange shade is very flaky, so if you use it and you don't want to put like a glitter glue or something really sticky as a base, I would recommend really just patting that on your lid or wherever you put it. Oh child, I just realized I didn't finish my look. I have an inner corner highlight on this side. I don't have one on the other side, so let's do that real quick. I did a whole video. This is a mess. I'm a mess per usual. Okay, all right. Okay, there we go. Okay, all right. Let's get it back together. So, like I was saying, this shade up here is super flaky, so if you don't want to put it on your lid or in your inner corner without it being on a glitter glue, I would recommend really patting it or putting some form of setting spray or misting spray on there as well, or just water, that works too. This other shade is just a really decent, okay, good glitter, not glittery, I would say it's more of just a normal metallic. Overall, this palette is okay, and that's why I never really rushed to buy any other products from Caladios, but they've been coming out with some more things. They came out with 2 blush duos in their in their alien collection. I don't know, I did a My Perfect palette collection for that one. I'll link it up in the cards. But they came out with 2 blush duos, and even though they looked like they were too light for me, I was still intrigued. I was still really like, I want to try that formula type situation. And recently, very recently, they have sneak peeked yet another new collection because they just came out with that collection. I'm assuming, like all other brands, they are just pushing out all the products that they had to stay silent about because of COVID. And this new collection is beautiful, okay? It is beautiful. I want the lavender with the two neutral palette. I want that palette. I think that that is a perfect colorful version of their more recent full-size palette. So that palette is really, really pretty, and it looks like they also came out with some more duos. So I'm hoping that they got a lot of feedback, because it seemed like a lot of YouTubers, whether they bought the palette, the collection, or whether they received it in PR, were saying it's not diverse enough with the blush duos. So I'm really hoping that some of those blush duos are deeper, more sultry, more just black girl friendly. And then, I mean, I wouldn't mind trying the lip glosses. Honestly, the lip glosses are here or there, but I would really love to try those duos and that one eyeshadow palette. The other eyeshadow palettes I'm not really intrigued about at all, really. You know what? No. You know what that palette reminds me of? That palette reminds me of not the recent collection. It reminds me of their very first palette, the one that low-key very few people actually have. That's what that reminds me of. I want it so much. So I would love to try that and hopefully see if there's a difference in formula. Maybe it was just that this is like a neon formula, that's why I'm not really loving this palette, but I would love to try the brand again and give it like another shot. Then we have Odin's Eye. I've seen so many YouTubers that are smaller, that are into indie makeup, really reviewing this brand completely and just showing all of the products that they have to offer. They have quite a few products to offer, pretty much a full face. I think Odin's Eye just doesn't have a lot of base products. So they don't have foundation or concealer. I'm pretty sure everything else they do have. Maybe not mascara and all that, but pretty much they have a good, decent amount of full face products. They don't have powders either. But regardless, they have quite a few things, and I want to try everything from them. I want to try there's a mini palette that I will put on the screen that I'm intrigued by from their latest launch. I'm also really intrigued by one of their other palettes from their original launch. So I would want two palettes from them. They also have blushes. They have them in a matte formula and like a shimmery formula. For me, just based on how I've been using cheek products in general, I have no business buying the matte formula, but I would love to try their like shimmery, satiny formula blush product. They also have highlighter palettes, and although I really should not want to, I want to try their first highlighter palette. They also have lip products that I hear nothing but great things about, and the lip products are more like stains, and I don't have any stains in my collection, so I would love to try their stains as well. Just overall, I just want to once again try everything from this brand and just have my overall opinions. Like I've been saying on a lot of my videos, Odin's Eye, they do PR, and other just darker complected people do swatches and product photos on Instagram, but I have not seen one video by somebody near my complexion on YouTube. And for me, those are the products, those are the brands that I really love to try and do videos on, because I'm just as intrigued as you guys are. And I hate that I haven't seen it physically being blended on somebody's face, being applied on somebody's face. Swatches and actually application are two different things. And so for me, I would really just love to try this brand. Hopefully I get to them sooner rather than later. I'm betting that all of these brands that I really talk about in this video are going to be the brands that like I immediately purchase from when November hits, because I am itching to try them, and I just really want to try them. Let me just say this tangentially. If you know of a YouTuber or anybody who has done a review or given their opinions on any of these products or these brands, please let me know. That is my complexion, of course, because I did DM somebody who does swatch videos or swatch photos for some of these brands, and they never got back to me, which I'm not mad at them. I mean, things happen. Sometimes you just don't see the DM. Sometimes you just don't want to reply. be great. But I just really am extremely intrigued to see what these brands are looking like, because it is an extreme difference between these brands working beautifully, applying beautifully, blending beautifully, all that jazz on somebody who's lighter complexion than somebody who has my complexion. So yeah. The next brand is Nabla. So I have tried Nabla, and I don't, let me, do I have the products here? No. In typical me fashion, I'm not prepared. Let me get my Nabla products. I don't have very many, so let me get them. Alrighty, so I have 3 products from Nabla, so not very much, but in the grand scheme of this video, it's probably gonna be the most own products from a brand that I reference. So the first product that I purchased, actually I purchased 2 products at the same time, and one of them was the Nabla Dreamy Eyeshadow Palette. And I purchased this because I actually have singles too. We're gonna pretend I don't have them. I have these, I bought this palette because I was hearing so much from people who I admire, follow, all of that jazz. And they were just raving about the Nabla eyeshadow formula. So I decided to take the chance and purchase this. I actually ended up purchasing this prior to Nabla coming to Ulta. Let me tell you, that was a hot toddy mess. If you purchase from Nabla and you purchase them to the US, they use DHL? What is even the name of that courier service? I don't even know what the name of the courier service is because I refuse. I hate using them. I do. So this was when I still had a post office box, and I had it being delivered to that post office box. But DHL or whatever the courier service is does not deliver to my USPS post office box. So it was a hot toddy mess because I had to have them deliver it to my house, but then I like missed the first delivery and they were like, oh, well, can we still deliver? It was a mess, it was unnecessary, and I do not recommend it. So if I was you guys and you really want to purchase from Nabla, I would recommend just doing it from Ulta. Unless you are all good and used to doing that courier service, then I would just Ulta, okay? But I purchased this palette and I did do a review. It was a while ago. The review was a really long while ago, but I still stand firm in my review with this palette, saying that it's a nice palette. I think the formula is nice, both matte and shimmer, all that jazz, but I get a 1 look, maybe 2 with this palette. You don't get very much variety because of the depth and the dimension of the mattes. This dark brown Dogma is not very dark. To be quite honest, it's pretty much, I would say, maybe my summer shade foundation wise. That's at the depth of it, and even then I think I'm giving it a little bit more depth than it really does possess. So for me, this palette, yeah, it was pretty, yeah, I enjoyed it, but the overall looks that I could obtain from it was one-toned. And for me, when I buy an eyeshadow palette, I want to be able to do minimum 3 looks, which is why I love to do my 3 looks 1 palette videos, because I love to make sure that like I can really get what I want from the palette. So for me, this eyeshadow palette just wasn't kicking it. Then I also did purchase some singles from them. The singles were trash. I don't care what anybody says. I know Angelica Niquis loves their single formula. I hate it. I hate it with a vengeance and a passion. I would not recommend it at all. I would say stick to the eyeshadow palettes if you truly want to try their eyeshadow palette formula. I also have a liquid lipstick from them. This is in the shade Narcotic. I love this liquid lipstick formula and the shade. This is a really, really nice, deep navy blue, and this is one of the only navy blue liquid lipsticks that I still have in my collection, and I don't feel I need any others because I have this and I love this formula so much. So I would highly recommend the formula. It does dry down matte, but it's not a water, I need water type of matte. It is very much a comfort matte, and I would say it breaks down very easily when you eat like oily products or anything like that, but because it breaks down so easily, it's so comfortable on the lips, and you low-key can forget that you actually have it on your lips. Then I recently purchased their bronzer in the shade Profile. This is their darkest shade of bronzer, and as I said in my roundup, which I'm gonna make sure that roundup comes up before this. If not, you know, It's coming, I promise. I've already recorded it. I've just been really lazy on doing the B-roll. But anyways, this is the bronzer. It is in the shade Profile, like I said. What you need to know is that this bronzer formula, it is like a baked gelée formula. So you need a stiff brush, and if you are willing to, or if you have them in your collection, I would also recommend a natural hair brush as well. I use my Refer number 5 brush. I think this works beautifully. It's a really good bronzer brush. It is small, but it's a good bronzer brush nonetheless. For me, this product is okay. It doesn't really do too much on my summer shade, but I'm starting to lose my summer tan just because I'm not really outside as much as I was during like isolation and stuff. So I've been like going back to my normal shade, but this is an okay bronzer. It's not too red, but it does have a warmth undertone to it. So if you are okay with something like that, I would say go for it. And yeah, these are the 3 products that I have from Nabla. I want to extend, obviously, what I have from this brand. I am still very much intrigued by the brand as a whole. Nabla has a foundation and a concealer range. They also have powders. I would also love to try their blush and highlighter range. And I believe they also have lipsticks. They also have like eyeliner-ish products. So I would just love to continue to purchase from this brand. Like I said, I'm gonna keep myself from and marginalized to what they have on Ulta's website. I do not want to go through what I went through again. And obviously, if I go through and actually do purchase from Nabla's website, I'm just going to be smart about it and just have it delivered straight to my house and not to a P.O. box, which I don't even have anymore. So that X's that out. But yeah, I really do want to try a lot more from Nabla. Next is Danessa Myricks. I want everything from Danessa Myricks. Everything. I have been experimenting with my base and just going from my more satin finish to my more matte finish and to a very glowy, ethereal type base. And oh my gosh, I want so much from Danessa Myricks. It is insane. I want to try her foundation. I want to try her her loose highlighting formula. I also want to try her balm formula. She has a couple of different like liquid or cream products. I want to try it all. I want it all. I want it all. Everything. I have just really been intrigued by how she does her makeup, and when I tried doing the Danessa Myricks base, as I call it, with the products that I have, I enjoyed it, but I didn't think I got the full essence of her looks, and I just really want to try it. I think her brand has a lot to offer, and I love that her foundation range, she offers samples off of her website. So I would really want to try purchasing that from her website. And then of course, after I figure out the shade and all that, then I would of course go to Beautylish to get my full size. The last brand that I've just been itching to get more from, and I mean, honestly, I could have so many more brands that I want to talk about, but the last one that really just comes to mind, just off the cuff, is Natasha Denona. I have some stuff from Natasha Denona that I'm going to get right now because it's me. So I have 3 makeup items from Natasha Denona's collection. I believe I only have these 3. We're going to stick with the fact that I only have these 3. And the first thing I got was her contouring sculpting powder in the shade 05 Deep. This is deep, okay? Do not underestimate this powder at all. It is a beautiful powder, and the girl is deep, okay? So I enjoy this powder. I definitely want to use it more. You guys know, I love bronzers, so I love testing out new bronzers, but this will definitely be one bronzer that I put into my collection. I throw it in there to use it more often. I know it's called a sculpting powder, but I think it has a warm enough undertone that it can be used beautifully for a bronzer on my complexion. My most recent purchase from her was the bronze palette. I love this palette. I love the cream to powder formula. I think that is a fantastic formula. And I also just love the size of this palette. I think it's really nice that you get quite a variety of shades, but you get a small quantity of each shade. So I think honestly, like a lot of people, this is gonna be the size that I stick with when it comes to Natasha Denona, just unless I can get it on sale, which is how I got this palette, which is my blue green palette, no, blue purple, wow. And I love this palette. The metallics are outstanding. The mattes are beautiful as well. You just don't get a huge variety with the mattes, which is why I just don't reach for this baby as much as I probably should, coulda, woulda. But Natasha Denona, I want to try so much from her. I keep hearing really good things about her foundation, her lipsticks had a huge rage. I heard really good things about the blushes and the highlighters in this kind of compact, and I just want to try so much more from her brand and just have my overall opinions of her brand. And those are kind of the top 5 I feel like that I'm really itching and dying to try from. That being said, this by no means are all the brands that I feel limited to trying. I tend to try a bronzer or an eyeshadow palette from brands for the first time. Those are the products that I like first dip my toes into when it comes to the brand. And then from there, if I love that product, I really get intrigued. I start to look, ooh, what else do they have that I might be interested in? And there's so many other brands that I can just think of off the cuff. Charlotte Tilbury, Jouer, what other brands? Milk Makeup, Tower 24, Fenty. I would love to get more Fenty. I have a good amount, but I don't have too much Fenty. Even Morphe, for goodness sake. Morphe, for all their qualms, I love their bronzers. I really do. So for me, there's so many different brands that I want to try more of, do dedicated, like this is how I feel about the whole brand. And I get these ideas from the few products that I picked up in the past year, well, the year before, and that I'm just loving and reaching for their products. And I'm just, Sydney Grace, I've been reaching for this brand's palette. Obviously, this is a new palette, but this Tiny Marbles palette has me wanting to go back and try more of my Sydney Grace products that I already have. Juvie's Place, I have been reaching for my Sahara palette, mainly for this black, but I've been enjoying this palette as well. So I want to get some more use. Anastasia Beverly Hills, it's right here under my thing. I want to try more. I never tried their foundation. I never tried their concealer. Didn't they have the concealer? They have more products coming out. I want to try more. Colored Rain, I haven't tried a lot of stuff from them that they've released this past year and the year before, so I would love to try more. Lick and Lash. Lick and Lash is another brand. I love their eyeshadow palette formula. I would love to try more from them. And I mean, even just on my stuff right here, Beauty Wide. Not many people talk about that brand. I feel like they're a very small indie brand from the Middle East, and I have enjoyed their products, so I would love to bring praise to their products and all of these products in general that I have. So for me, what I see myself happening in 2021, I see myself extending the range of the brands that I already have tried and growing, but also small, picking out 1 or 2 products here and there from brands that I have never tried before. And I think that's how I'm going to try and curate and slowly grow my collection. In 2021, I'm just going to tell myself, okay, there's a certain amount of new brands you can try each month, and there's a certain amount of brands that you can extend your collection from in each month, and so on and so forth. I haven't really figured out and fine-toothed it. I mean, it is only August. We're getting into October, thank good the Lord. That'll lead me to only having 2 months left, really just 1 month, because I'm telling you right now, once November 1st hits, it's a wrap. It's a wrap on this no buy. You can't clock me on that no buy. You can't. So I have 1 month left, and I'm going to try and do my best to stick to it. But yeah, these are just some brands that I am itching to try. Are you guys itching to try from any of these brands? Have you tried from any of these brands? Are you my complexion? Let me know down below. I truly take you guys' reviews, you guys' opinions to heart, and I mean, you guys can review products for me just as I review them for you guys. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always,